Recently, I decided to absolutely torture myself by launching up the game Sifu again. Now this wasn't just any kind of torture. This was more of a weird, kinky, fun kind of torture because Sifu is an absolute blast. Now hold up, wait, I don't mean that in a freaky way or anything. Sifu's just a super fun game that is very difficult and it can be kind of frustrating. Hopefully by the end of this video, you'll be able to understand a little bit more about what I mean. At this point, I'm sure you want to know what Sifu actually is. I'm talking about how it's freaky and everything like that. Like, hold on guys, it's not that type of game. Just listen for a second, it's super fun. All jokes aside, Sifu is a fast-paced 3D indie fighting game. Whenever I make a video on this game, I keep referring to it as like a flow state-like game. And that's because by the time you're actually good at Sifu, you enter this awesome flow state that makes you feel like you're fucking Neo in the Matrix or something. And I'm not talking Matrix Resurrection Neo, that's the shitty one. I'm talking about the original Neo. In the beginning, the game will throw you into a cutscene where you start off as just a wee lad. By the end of it, you'll find that someone kills your sensei. In the game, it's kind of more like a father-like figure, but you can also assume it's your sensei. His death is enough to throw you into a blood-filled rage of vengeance. You spend your entire life trying to find anyone and everyone that had a hand in helping kill your sensei. Sifu is basically Postal 2 if it was a fighting game. There's not really much story you gotta know about. All you need to know really is that you gotta kill people. And I mean a lot of people. On your journey to basically kill everyone who ever existed on the earth, you find out you have some unexplained magic power that allows you to only die of old age. Meaning that every time you actually would have died, you get up and just become a year or however many times you died older for every single death. Now becoming older isn't necessarily just a bad thing. There are some skills that you can unlock based on your age, but when your character gets older, they lose health, but they also receive increased damage. You can get old up to the point of, I believe, of 78 or 80 years old, but after that, your character will just bite the dust and die. The story in Sifu isn't perfect and definitely has a lot of loopholes. It's not like a AAA game or anything, but it does give you a good reason to go ballistic and basically beat the shit out of almost everyone in the game. Now that doesn't just mean everyone's gonna sit back and let you beat the shit out of them. There are people more than capable of beating the shit out of you, and trust me, they will beat the shit out of you over and over again until you become an absolute master at this game. But that is the fun of Sifu. Sifu is really good at making you understand what really works in the game. Some might call it a trial and error game, but I still think it's a really good game to learn and pick up. What I love so much about Sifu is that the idea for this game isn't really original at all. I mean, you can go pick up Mortal Kombat and beat the shit out of your enemies, but the way Sifu applies the mechanics and the combos is so completely different and so much more fun. Are you really going to be an ultimate ninja warrior in Mortal Kombat? No, but you will in Sifu. What Sifu does really well is making you feel like an absolute master at the game once you get the hang of it. Once you get into that freaky flow-light state I was talking about earlier, that's really where everything just clicks. If you want to make some dude smack the hell out of his friend with a bat and then use that opportunity to go in and hit him with a counterattack, go ahead. Sifu lets you do that as long as you dodge right. Sifu has a ton of tricks that you can learn to very easily master the game. The only issue is they are gonna take time and dedication in order to get the hang of them. If you're interested in some of those tricks, I do have a video on that in the description, but let's get back to the video. Throughout Sifu, you will traverse 5 main levels of the game. And yes, each one is definitely way cooler than the last. The game doesn't really give you much incentive to explore. I wouldn't really say there's an exploration feature at all in Sifu. It's definitely not a game you want to spend time or will spend time exploring, but it is super fun and has really good level design. From scaling towers to fighting in the streets, Sifu throws every type of environment at you. And best believe along with those environments, they're going to throw every type of enemy at you as well. Speaking of enemies, Sifu has 5 big bosses, one for each level, and you're going to have to learn the secret for each one. Each boss in Sifu has a main mechanic that you're really going to have to master in order to take them down. And of course, by the time you get to the person who killed your sensei, you're going to need to use every single mechanic you learn in order to beat him. I know that might seem daunting, but Sifu does an extremely good job preparing you for this point throughout the game. Every time your character dies and ages, you will have the option to unlock certain skills upon death. Now you'll only get these skills once per life when you first unlock them. That means the next time you die, you'll no longer have them. But upon a lot of work, and yeah, I'm sorry, a lot of deaths, certain skills you can permanently unlock. This gives the game a steady and constant stream of progression that I absolutely love. On top of that, the younger you are when you finish a level, the better skills that you can unlock at certain checkpoints. You'll be able to unlock this skill by using a currency in the game called score. You'll get score by doing things like not taking hits from enemies, or even just building up really large combos. You'll spend a good half of the game on the defensive, dodging and weaving through your opponent's attacks. But don't worry, the second you get some combos down, you can counterattack with some pretty insane combos that will leave your enemies absolutely devastated. The entire time I played Sifu, I was on the edge of my seat. This game has a really good soundtrack, really good visuals, and the combat will make you so immersed with the world. Now I will say, the story is not really the selling point of this game at all. The combat is what's going to be the meat of this game. But the combat is so good, you could have thrown me in the middle of the game without telling me anything that's going on, and I would have had just as much fun. This game requires a ton of focus and dedication in order to actually get good at the combat, but once you do, it feels super rewarding to constantly be in that flow state mindset where you're dodging and weaving enemies' attacks, throwing in some parries, and then going absolute fucking buck shit crazy on the next poor soul that happens to come after you. Once you finish Sifu, the game really tries to reel you right back in by adding in some new features that really increase the replayability. This is what personally brought me back to the game after not touching it for about a year. The two main features are the mods and the arenas. With mods, you can replay through the original stories, but with new challenges or abilities. There's a ton of options here. You can choose to make it extremely more difficult for yourself by giving yourself something like a 1 health per run debuff, or you can make it super interesting by doing something like making the enemies only do spin kicks for the entire games. The second one is the arenas. These are predetermined scenarios made by the creators themselves. A lot of these are just throwing you into a bunch of enemies and telling you to whoop all their asses, but I absolutely love it. I mean, one of them you can literally be Neo. Come on, man, this is exactly what I was talking about earlier with the flow state. I think when it comes down to the decision of whether or not you actually want to buy Sifu, I think if you're a person who really enjoys fighting games or even Souls-like or difficult games, I think Sifu is absolutely the game for you. There is nothing like the feeling of becoming a master Sifuist. I think Sifu is a little difficult for someone to pick up if they're just kind of looking for a more casual game, but I definitely think the game is worth checking out if you haven't already. If you can't tell already, I love the game, so if you just want my opinion, definitely get the game. It is a hard yes for me. If you guys do end up playing it, I hope you have the same amount of joy as I had playing it. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the video, and if you enjoyed it, drop a like, it means so much. I love you guys, and I'll see ya.